it really pays to be an early adopter of new apps, new features, etc. I know there's often a lot of resistance to, oh, I don't want to do another app. I don't want to download another thing, sign up for another thing, whatever. I do understand that. But here's the thing about this. When you go into a smaller space, they're just a lot nicer to you and they're more willing to help you. So think of when you're one of the first movers on a brand new app, right? You're there, a big fish in a small pond. And because the app makers want to make this a success, they'll help you. And they won't do that, later on in the cycle. They're only going to do that when you stand out because you're in the small pool up front. It's very, very hard to gain traction on anything these days. And this is one of those things that can help you take off in a way that you just can't on the bigs anymore, right? Like Instagram is basically useless now. They tamp down posts, downrank you, can't share links, all the problems with Instagram. Think of even places that once were good, like TikTok. Very censorious, won't allow you to speak about certain things. Now, of course, they're owned by Larry Ellison and that group, and I had to delete that app as well. But same goes for even platforms that I use right now that I'm not getting a ton out of, like YouTube and Reddit, which really just optimize for meanness. So they're not pleasant places to be. But if you're an artist and you're trying to, get your stuff out there, you got to go where the soil's fertile. And let me give you a couple of examples. So for instance, with this new project that I just launched, it's called Articulate, and I'm doing it on Patreon. Now, Patreon's been around for a long time. I don't know when they were established, but I've been on the platform for well over 10 years. And so you could say, all right, that's an established place, though they've really kept their ethos, which is why I've stuck with it. But they introduced a new feature a few weeks ago. It's called Quips, and it was their attempt to sort of cut through the noise on social. So like all new features, I adopted it and steered right into it just because, one, I want to try it out, curious about it. And two, I know that this thing is aligned with what their business goals are, right? So they just spent all this money, all this time, all this energy, both at the top level to their coders, all across the whole company to launch this. So they want it to succeed. So if you're using it, they're going to help you, right? It seems obvious when I describe it now, but really just think about this. They, for the only time really, they are now aligned with your goals and they will help you because they want this thing to succeed. So it works for both parties, the company and for you. And this thing, this dynamic doesn't last for long. So you got to take advantage. It's not a great policy to sort of just wait to see what happens and how others are going to use it. This is the time to strike when the feature is brand new and the company wants to push this. I'll give you a couple more examples. This is in the streaming realm, right? Everybody hates Spotify for good reasons. If you're an indie artist and you're still standing Spotify, don't understand. You'll get there. I trust that you will, but my goodness. So I've tried out a bunch of other streaming platforms, and I have a whole series on this. I left a link in the show notes for you. But two in particular. One is called Coda Music, and the other is Vocana. And both of these, they have their streaming platforms. So they've got a full catalog of everything that you could want. It's been very rare, and I listened to some eclectic stuff. It's been very rare that I've not been able to find something when I've looked in their catalog. So good catalog. Each of them has a little different ethos and some different things. So for instance, Coda seems dedicated to putting a social layer over the streaming. So in other words, you can talk to other music fans about music. So really focused on the music, unlike Spotify, which seems to be dead set on filling it with AI content. And here's the thing, the folks at Coda have been super nice to me. They pay attention to what I'm doing. They boost my songs, my streams. Same thing with Vocana. They invited me to do this thing where I've talked about my songwriting process in a series of videos that they promoted to their audience, right? They're not doing this because they have any affinity to me per se, except for the fact that I'm an early adopter. And they want to see activity on their platform because that's the thing that's going to make them take off. If they're going to be successful, it's going to be because of people who are early adopters who embrace it from the outset. They know that, and that's why they're helping me. So I guess I would just say, I urge you to be a first mover, be an early adopter, because it's to your advantage. It will only help you. And the window closes fairly rapidly. And it is your only chance, I think, in today's noisy media world for you to stand out. So might take a change of mindset, but I just think it's worth it. So let me know if you jump in, especially on Quips, Coda, Vocana. Left links in the show notes for you, just so you can check those out if you like it, and you can observe how I'm using them. So hope that you find that helpful.